bucka. Haha. You know the deal.
The next thing we're going to talk about in relations is called graphing ordered pairs. As we talked about in the last unit, we come up with ordered pairs from an equation. So this was an example of an equation that we had in the last lesson. And when we write an ordered pair, we put it in brackets. The x value comes first, and then the y value with a comma in between. So we had a few ordered pairs for this relationship in our last unit, but I'll just put one up here. So for example, if x is 2, if we substitute that into our equation, we would get 4 times 2, so y would be 8. So we can see how that works here if I take my value of x and substitute that into the equation. So instead of writing an x, I'm going to write a 2, and we go ahead and solve for y equals 8. So in this relationship, if x equals 2, y equals 8. So that's one ordered pair in this relationship. Well, when we have to graph this, we're going to be graphing this on a grid. So here we have a graph, and this graph is called a Cartesian coordinate plane. On our Cartesian coordinate, we have axes. This line here is an axis, and it's our x-axis. The horizontal axis is always the x-axis. And this line here is called our y-axis. So what we're looking for here are places where x equals 2 and y equals 8. So if we move along the x-axis here, well, here our x values are counting in ones. So x equals 1 here, and x equals 2 here, and so on. We can see that our x values count in ones because it gets to 5 at that point. So x does equal 2 here. And similarly, on our y-axis, y equals 8 here. So what we're looking for is a point where x equals 2 and y equals 8. So x equals 2 actually all along that line there. Everywhere on that line, x equals 2. And similarly, y equals 8 everywhere on that line. So we're looking really where these lines intersect, and they intersect at this point here. This is the point where x equals 2 and y equals 8. So that's our coordinate 2, 8. We think of the Cartesian coordinate system, it's kind of like working on a grid system on a map. Usually on a map, though, you have numbers and letters. Here we have numbers and numbers. Again, these numbers here along the horizontal line are always our x values, and these numbers along the vertical line are always our y values. So this is the coordinate 2, 8 because x is 2 there and y is 8. So if we're trying to identify the coordinates of a point on the Cartesian plane, suppose we have a point here. What we're asking ourselves really is, well, what is the x value and what is the y value? So if we look at where we are here in terms of x, well, this is our x line here. That's what x equals on that point, and this is what y equals at this point. So we can see here that x equals 2 and y equals 4 at that coordinate. So that coordinate is 2, 4. The x value always goes first, and the y value always goes second. So if we were to say take a coordinate down here, well, again, we're first looking at our x value. Our x value is up here, which is negative 4. So you can see it is possible to have negative values. For our y value is also a negative. It's negative 2. So this coordinate here is at negative 4 and negative 2. If we put a coordinate, say, over here, again, we're looking at what our x value is and what our y value is. This is our x value, which is 8. And this is our y value, which is 2. So that's the coordinate 8, 2. So to finish off our lesson on graphing ordered pairs, what I want you to do here is state the coordinate or the ordered pair of each of the following points. So just the points that are labeled here: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. State what the x value and the y value is as an ordered pair.